Ever had one of those nights where you think, I'm just going to scroll through social media for a few minutes to unwind, and suddenly it's 2 a.m. and you're watching videos of people restoring rusty knives? Me too, and here's the thing. Instead of feeling relaxed, you end up more drained than when you started. Today we're diving into a topic I like to call how to not relax. You know the drill. You plop down on the couch, pull out your phone, and suddenly you're floating down the lazy river of content. It feels nice, doesn't it? Passive, easy, like you're letting your brain take a little vacation. I like to call it the algorithmic lullaby. But here's the thing. While it might feel like you're relaxing, what's really happening is that you're letting an algorithm rock you to sleep, and not the good kind of sleep. Imagine you're trying to fall asleep, but instead of counting sheep, you've got a hyperactive friend rapid fire whispering, "Hey, look at this cute dog. Oh, did you hear about this celebrity drama? Wait, check out this vacation spot. Ooh, breaking news alert. Here's a funny meme." Not exactly conducive to rest. Yet, that's essentially what we're doing to our brains when we scroll endlessly through social media or news feeds. When you think of the word relax, what comes to mind? For me, it conjures up images of feeling refreshed, recharged, rejuvenated, like when you wake up from a really good night's sleep or after a peaceful walk in nature. You feel energized, clear-headed, ready to take on the world. That's because true relaxation isn't just about being passive. It's about giving your brain the space it needs to recharge. When we scroll, we might feel a sense of satisfaction, but it's fleeting. Our brains are actually in a state of constant stimulation, jumping from one piece of content to the next. It's like snacking on junk food. It might taste good in the moment, but it doesn't really nourish you. Real relaxation is like a powerful, ultra-healthy smoothie for your brain. It leaves you feeling genuinely refreshed and restored. You don't need to do anything fancy to achieve it. Sometimes the most relaxing thing you can do is, well, nothing at all. Let's talk about low focus engagement. This is the realm of endless scrolling. It feels easy peasy, right? But here's the kicker. It's actually keeping your brain in a state of constant low level turmoil. Imagine your brain is like a pond. Low focus activities are like constantly tossing pebbles into that pond. Each piece of content, a tweet, a photo, a headline, is another little splash. The surface is always rippling, never truly calm. Now you might be thinking, but it feels relaxing. And you're right, it's passive. But passive isn't always the same as relaxing. It's more like being stuck in mental quicksand. The more you scroll, the more your brain gets bogged down. What's the alternative? This is where deep focus comes in. Activities like reading a book, solving a puzzle, or going for a mindful walk with your dog require more initial effort, but they lead to actual rest and rejuvenation. When you engage in these activities, it's like smoothing out the surface of the mental pond. Your brain settles into a calm, focused state. There's no constant barrage of new stimuli. Instead, your mind can fully engage with one thing. Let me give you a personal example. I love to play the mandolin, and when I sit down to play, at first it requires effort and concentration. But after a while, something magical happens. I enter a state of flow. Flow is like the holy grail of relaxation. It's when you're so absorbed in an activity that you lose track of time. Your mind is fully engaged, but in a way that's energizing rather than draining. It's like a mental spa day for your brain. Now, contrast that with scrolling. Scrolling creates an illusion of flow. It keeps you engaged, sure, but constantly pulling your attention in multiple directions. It's like trying to follow 10 conversations at once. Exhausting. The beauty of deep focus activities is that they allow your mind to settle. Whether it's through reading, crafting, playing music, or mindful physical activities like jujitsu, you're giving your brain the chance to fully engage with one thing. And paradoxically, this focused engagement is what allows your mind to truly rest and recharge. Here's a challenge for you. Next time you feel the urge to scroll, try picking up a book instead, or a puzzle, or your favorite hobby. Give it 15 minutes of your full attention. You might be surprised at how much more relaxed you feel afterwards. Our smartphones and the social media apps they house aren't just time sucks, they're emotional roller coasters. You're scrolling through your feed and suddenly a photo of your friend lounging on a beautiful beach in Bali pops up. Your first thought, wow, that looks amazing. Your second thought, Why am I sitting here in my pajamas while everyone else is living their best life? This is the emotional turbulence of scrolling. One moment, you're laughing at a funny video. The next, you're comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. It's like those funhouse mirrors, except instead of distorting your appearance, it's warping your perception of reality. This emotional roller coaster isn't always obvious. It sneaks up on us. Over time, constant exposure to these ultra-perfect versions of other people's lives can chip away at our own self-esteem, leading to stress and anxiety. And this is by design. Social media apps aren't just innocently showing us what our friends are up to, they're engineered to keep us scrolling, like a casino. These platforms keep you coming back for more, and the house always wins by feeding you content that keeps you engaged, encouraging you to say, just one more scroll. But after hours of mindless scrolling, what do we have to show for it? Often just a sense of guilt and time wasted. This guilt hits hard, undercutting any hope of true relaxation. Instead of feeling refreshed after our downtime, we end up feeling worse than before. It's like we've cheated ourselves out of the very peace we're seeking. Now imagine your mind is a beautiful garden. Every time we scroll, we're filling that garden with tiny plastic flowers, bright and colorful, but fake. There's no room for real living thoughts to grow. This is the difference between shallow and deep engagement. Scrolling fills our mental space with shallow information, like trying to have a deep conversation at a Limp Bizkit concert. Our brains crave quiet moments, time to process, reflect, and just be. When we fill every mental gap with scrolling, we suffocate our ability to think deeply, to let our minds wander, and to truly relax. Simple, intentional activities like staring out the window, going for a walk, or sipping coffee without distractions. These moments give your mind room to breathe, to stretch out like my dog Ozzy in a sunbeam, fully relaxed. Scrolling feels easy, like a quick distraction from stress or boredom. But distraction is not the same as rejuvenation. When we scroll, we're mentally engaged in someone else's world, not present in our own. Real relaxation happens when we disconnect from the noise and give ourselves the space to be present. Start creating pockets of emptiness in your day. Maybe it's 5 minutes of window gazing with your morning coffee or a phone-free walk. These moments of mindfulness are like deposits into your relaxation bank account, and over time, they'll add up. You might just find that you feel more relaxed, more creative, and more yourself. And that's a pretty great way to live. This is something that I struggle with a lot, where after a hard day, I'll just, scroll for a couple hours and feel pretty bad about it. It's partly why I make these YouTube videos, is to work on myself more too, of how I can be more present and grounded in my life, and also to find real relaxation. Sometimes it's easy to work pretty hard and then I'll feel just drained and I don't know how to get back that energy. So I hope this video helped and I appreciate your time. If you don't mind liking and subscribing, that really helps out the channel, and we'll talk again super soon. Thanks.